very much. My name is Megan Martineau, and I'm here today to tell you about a recent unscientific poll that I did with 78 local women. And of those participating, 79% of them were overwhelmed by everything that has to do with COVID-19, whether it's trying to stay healthy, deal with their kids, and working out school and work logistics, or succumbing to bad habits. Let's face it, COVID-19 has been our reality. Psychology, depression, and anxiety are subjects of which I've had interest for decades. After taking my unscientific poll, I decided to interview a local psychologist and a local hypnotist. And the Spotlight charity that I'm working with is the Anne Arundel Crisis Response Center. The results of my unscientific poll and some commentary and thoughts from a local psychologist are some of the things I'll be discussing tonight. And, Anne Arundel County Crisis Response Center helps those who are dealing with the stresses of COVID-19. Finally, finding treatments that will help people to overcome the negative feelings and emotions and getting any bad habits under control through therapy and hypnosis. And those are the subjects I'll be speaking about tonight. Now, did you know that just about anybody can conduct an unscientific poll on Facebook? It's true. As a friend and I were discussing some of these issues, I took it upon myself to do a poll, and as a result, completely changed the topic of my persuasive speech for this class. Now, as if COVID-19 wasn't bad enough, people have turned to different coping mechanisms. According to Sarah Payne, a local psychologist, she says that healthy families have taken on really positive activities like cooking and baking together, going on hikes, doing arts and crafts. But there are families also that have really struggled. They've turned to overeating, drinking, smoking, and other habits and behaviors. With the ease of ordering food, alcohol, and marijuana from dispensaries online, it's been so easy to be able to pick these items up either at the curb or even have them delivered. So there's really no contact with these people and there's no walk of shame. According to my poll of 78 women, 76% are super anxious about the school year. 45% are overeating. 11% have increased their smoking or vaping, and 24% have started drinking more or just have simply started drinking. Now, I'd like to share with you some testimonies from these women. One woman who has never really touched alcohol has started drinking 4 ounces of wine every single night because she's so stressed out and she needs to relax for the evening to get her kids ready for bed. Another woman says that she started baking with her children. She can't stop baking. She's been baking bread and all kinds of desserts for the past 6 to 8 months, and she's gained 30 pounds, and she just cannot lose it. She can't stop. One woman who'd never touched a cigarette decided she would try vaping and can't stop now. And according to Sarah, she says that all of these things are signs of avoidance. And for those who want to know how to feel the way I'm feeling, I don't want to feel that way anymore. So they drown themselves in alcohol, food, and tobacco. And the biggest thing that's impacted from that is body image. Drug use and dealing has actually slowed down, she says, as the supply chain has stopped due to air travel stopping and the borders being closed. Opioid deaths have dropped, but they are coming back up slowly. Now, how do these issues affect our immediate area as well as the United States? So she says that healthcare prices are probably going to rise due to respiratory issues and weight gain or even obesity. Alcohol and drug addiction is on the rise, and so organizations like Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous, along with other 12-step programs, are going to have a rise in their memberships. And how do we know if healthcare prices are going to rise due to the shifts in these behaviors? Now that you can see how people have been dealing with the fallout of COVID-19, I'd love to share with you a local organization that helps people in our immediate area. The organization I'm spotlighting today is the Anne Arundel Crisis Response Center. And the establishment of this organization was created to facilitate a local single point of accountability, planning, funding, and coordination for the care of eligible residents of Anne Arundel County. And so they've been helping the residents with different ways of coping with COVID-19. They've provided a suicide prevention assistance program. And they've also provided a case management program to assist those who are struggling. And they also have a mentoring program for families who are having a hard time adjusting to the new normal. They also match up residents with local therapists and other alternative therapies. Psychologists and psychiatrists are the most common, and they also use alternative therapies like hypnosis and Reiki and acupuncture. Of course, those are out-of-pocket expenses. Now that we know why contacting the Anne Arundel Crisis Response Center is a great idea, I'd love to share some of the results that can happen when treatment becomes a priority to these families. So the biggest benefit of letting go of these behaviors and emotions and learning how to control them so that life can improve and one has a productive life to navigate their way through COVID-19. So choosing healthy ways to react to the stressors caused by COVID-19 is to seek out a therapist who is going to help you cope, and possibly a psychiatrist to help you with medication. Going to 12-step meetings is another great way to help you. And then seeing a hypnotist. And I know that sounds kind of funny, but seeing a hypnotist can help you to regain control of negative emotions and behaviors. James Scott, a local certified hypnotist, shares this simple version of how hypnosis works. The subconscious mind is where emotions, habits, and permanent memories are stored. Working with the subconscious can help a person to gain control on negative behaviors. Now, the portrayal on TV about hypnosis is very silly. Sometimes people use that for entertainment to get people to balk like a chicken or do funny things when they go to a place like Wendy's and order a hamburger. But the main goal is to help the client become independent from these past behaviors and stay in control of their lives. The effects can be immediate, and that includes getting better sleep at night that very first night. Now, can you imagine how much better life will be for our friends, our family members, neighbors, and strangers across Anne Arundel County if they were able to regain control over the habits they may have slipped into because of COVID-19? They could do well working from home and supervising their children while they're homeschooling. They'd be able to prioritize and find ways to make life easier. And finally, not just survive, but actually thrive. Now that we know the types of services that Anne Arundel Crisis Response can offer or suggest to you, how can anybody help them? But first, I just want to say that people are having a really hard time coping with the new normal that COVID-19 entails. They need a safe place to turn to. They need the help they can receive either for free, low cost, or out of pocket, and that can help immensely and provide the results they desire. So how can a college student help this organization aside from donating money? Because we all know college students don't have money, but they do have some time. So they can offer to intern or volunteer in different capacities at Anne Arundel Crisis Response Center. But because of HIPAA laws, not much more can be done. I appreciate your attention and thank you for your time.